Holla at your boy. Back at it again just to drop one more good video for y'all guys, y'all embroidery enthusiasts. I seen some questions on one of these forums. As I can see on Facebook, it's a group, so it's kind of like a forum. But with that said, let's get into it.
All right, let's get into this video, guys. The question is about different stabilizers, when to use them, where to use them, and how to use them. All right, I'm gonna shoot into this and things I use. There's a stabilizer. I'm just gonna go over stabilizer basics. It should be a quick, short thing for you guys to get an understanding of. I don't have all the stabilizers here, but I have enough, and I have enough knowledge about stabilizers of when do I use them. And some examples of, give you an example of when I would use them. All right, grab this right here. Do a lot of stuff with beanies. So if y'all guys are looking for beanies, I might leave a description down below and a link. You could get to my website and contact me from there, and then we could go from there. And if you get some value out of the video, don't forget to thumbs it up, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, guys, if you're doing a lot of embroidery, and you're cutting things up, this is a nice tool that I like to use. And this is a self-healing board, so that's something else you're gonna look into, is getting yourself one of these. You need you some music to play, so get you one of those. These are my machines, just in case you want to know what type of machines I have. And I also have a Brother PE 770. But let's get into the video and why you guys came here. All right, let's start off with the water soluble right here. This is the water soluble stabilizer. The water soluble stabilizer really is made for stuff like this. Like, instead of putting a lay down stitch, like a lot of people do, a lay down stitch. If you don't know what that is, I'll have to make a video on that also. But basically what a lay down stick is, it compresses thick material like this and flattens it down before another stitch goes through. So the reason why you need to do that, because stuff like this might start happening. Like the parts of the material will start coming in between the threads. So what this water soluble does is keeps the material coming from in between the threads, right? And then once it's done, you can spray water on this and it just eats it up. And then the only thing will be left is this, and you'll still get the same thickness as it was like it was a base under there. So it would, just like you did a lay down stitch, it will get you that same look, because of the water soluble just dissolves whatever left over, but it still keeps the shape of whatever it covered up after it's done. Now on to this right here. This backing is like a little light flimsy backing. It's for stuff that you want to hold, but you don't want to really need a hard backing for. You like stuff like this, like these, anything like this. Basically things that don't have a lot of detail. You could use this this backing right here. This stabilizer. Anything that doesn't have a lot of detail, because you just want to need something to hold it. It just needs to hold the shape when it's moving around, basically. You need to hold, because it needs to stay in here real tight, basically. It needs to stay with the, you want it to hold. That's what this is good for. Right? Nothing with much detail. Another thing is the price, guys. This one is going to be less pricey than this one. This is one of my main one I use. I do have a bigger roll over here. I got a roll of that. I have a lot of rolls. And there's another stabilizer that I don't even have anymore that I barely even use. It's called Tearaway. A lot of people use Tearaway stabilizer. The reason why I don't use Tearaway stabilizer is because I do a lot of beanies. And see if I got some Tearaway stabilizer for you. Look, yes, I think I got some Tearaway stabilizer right here. So this Tearaway stabilizer right here, it tears away. So once it's done, you see how it started breaking right there, the gaps. That's why I don't use Tearaway stabilizer. It's because I do a lot of beanies, and then I would get, you see how that when you put it on, it would just stretch the words out. You see what I'm saying, guys? If you're following along, that's why I don't use Tearaway stabilizer. Tearaway stabilizer. Like Tearaway stabilizer, I would use on something like this because it's basically stuck together. You know, it's basically making a patch out of whatever it is. So this could maybe possibly for a Tearaway stabilizer. You don't want nothing that separates to be used in Tearaway stabilizer. Anything that needs to be held together tight, like this, all this is basically will hold the stuff together because of how it's stitched. But anything that's got a space, a gap, anything like that, as soon as you put it on, it's gonna stretch. It's gonna stretch out like that, and you guys don't want that. So that moves us on. See this, I use a lot of this because it still works with you know, that works with that. It will hold that right there, but it won't be real rough. Sometimes people use this on like t-shirts and stuff like that, so you don't get a rough rash. You know, when you wearing it also, so you don't want that this thick and this kind of abrasive. So this right here is the main one you use when you're using stuff with a lot of detail. This is not the thickest it is, but this is the thickest one I use when I have garments with a lot of detail. Like stuff like this, well, I mean, a lot of detail is like kind of thick. It's a thickness to it because there's so much embroidery on thread on it. The thread count is really high right here. So I would use something like this, guys. This is one of the thicker stabilizers. So you need at least a little thick. I don't know what the thickness of this is, but this is the thick. You can see how you can tell from flimsy to not flimsy. This is the one I use a lot of. It's one thicker than this, but you don't really need to go that thick when you're doing it. This one will do the job. The stabilizer right here, and like anything that doesn't need that has a lot of detail, but you still want a backing, is this. You can also use this on caps. I do a lot of caps. You can use this on shirts. Like I said, people use this on shirts sometimes because it doesn't leave that rough thing. You put on sweaters, but anything with a lot of detail, you want to do this grade of stabilizer and above. So anything like this beanie right here, I would use this thick stabilizer, but I know I could get away with this only because the way this is made, it's stitched together. It's basically one whole stitch thing, and it's gonna hold itself together. But which one did I use? I used this one. Just I probably was being safe. Didn't want to take a chance. But let me see. Like this stabilizer. This is another one. This one is this one. Because you see, it's a lot of stitches. But I know I have got away with using this stabilizer right here. Let me check another one. See, like designs like this, you could get away with different stabilizers because the design basically holds itself. Yeah, I went with a thick stabilizer on this one as well. So when you guys start doing a lot more embroidery, you're gonna just start getting a feel for this. Like stuff like this. See, you basically want this all to hold together. That's why you got to use this stabilizer. In this one, I use this stabilizer, but you can see it's still held together. So you know, when somebody put their head in it, it's not gonna stretch none of this out of. This is not gonna stretch away, and these two are not gonna come apart because that's what a stabilizer do. Is this basically holds your whatever you do into place when somebody's wearing the garment. Designs like this would be a cutaway design. I mean, a tearaway design, because I could just tear it away. It doesn't matter. Like I said, basically this holds, the way it's stitched, it holds the design all together by itself. You know, Here's another one design I did. You know, these some of these are just, ooh, oh, okay. Right here. It's another one. I got away with the stabilizer is this one. Just a different you can see, but same thing. You see, like the stitching of this is all stitched together. So unless they use a tearaway, which would make it flimsy, you know, it's gonna work. And I think I covered pretty much all the basics of stabilizing with you guys. But you gotta see what works for you. I've seen people use this thick stabilizer on just all their garments, you know. But I'll tell you, this is more pricier than this. So that's what it is. It just gets cheaper and cheaper. But you know, this is kind of like overkill if you just use this. But I have seen people even use double the thickness of this. They have stabilizers that are that thick on all the garments. You know, not that it's gonna give it that much hold. I think that's what they probably learned, the way they learned it. So that's just the way they did it. All right, guys. So if you got any more questions, you got something out of this video, thumbs up the video, and please subscribe to the channel. Till next time, holla at your boy, holla at your boy, and salute. All right, guys. Almost forgot. A giveaway's coming soon. I'm almost at 2,000 followers. I just wanted to thank all you followers. Anybody that made it to this end, I'm glad you stayed with me. And I want to really thank the people that started with me from the bottom. All right, when I just had a few subscribers. So, all right, till next time, giveaways coming soon. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. Going to do it real big. If you see anything on any of these videos that you like, please let me know in the comments.